My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about a fragrance from Paris Corner. It's one that I got earlier in the summertime, but I felt like was proper for the fall because this fragrance to me smells like musk therapy. But more than just musk therapy, I feel like it's infused with maybe something else like Bal d'Afrique. It's not something that I could figure out exactly, but it smells fantastic. A couple of different experiences throughout the entire journey of this fragrance, and this fragrance is called Qissa by Paris Corner. So it's not spelled like the other Qissa perfumes, which is G-I-S-S-A-H. This is Q-I-S-S-A. First thing I want to do is take a look at some of the notes. For this fragrance specifically, I do detect a lot of the notes that are listed on screen. So with some of these notes that stand out the most, you're going to get a lot of that fresh citruses, a little bit of ylang ylang. I do get something of leather. It's very fresh. It's naturalistic. I get a hefty dose of that sweet orange. It smells like orange blossom almost, but it's pretty sweet in a very naturalistic way. The sweetness in this fragrance is by no means sticky. It's by no means cloying. It's very natural. Smells in the same category or family of sweetness like something of honeysuckle, so a floral type of sweetness. You're going to get a hefty dose of jasmine in here as well. The ginger is kind of an underlying note. It's not something that's going to be too crisp or really in your face. And the other note that really makes this fragrance is going to be musk. So you see that it listed heavy musk. And I mean, that's there for a good reason. It's also pretty powdery. It doesn't list iris, but I do get something of iris later in the mid to dry down. So saffron is another note that I did pick up in this one, but like I said, also in the mid to dry down. Nothing that's too sharp or synthetic. And that saffron is actually really nice in this fragrance. It kind of does a good job at counteracting or balancing with a lot of those florals. So it doesn't allow it to go too flat. It does add a little bit of sharpness to the overall quality of this fragrance while still allowing it to be pretty natural smelling. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say about this fragrance is that it's pretty natural smelling. It smells like literally the fall-time breeze. So picture yourself walking through meadows of orange blossom flowers or those fresh cherry blossoms and, you know, some decent dose of musk and some saffron in the air and that natural sweetness that you're going to detect from some of those florals. That's exactly what I get with this fragrance. So pretty natural smelling. If you enjoy fragrances like musk therapy, if you enjoy fragrances like Infinity Musk and this glorious oud, you're going to enjoy this one. There are some differences to this one than there is with those because of the fact that you're going to get this leather and you're also going to get that saffron, which really takes this one away from being, you know, too much of a musk therapy. But in my opinion, it adds more interest. So in the beginning, you're going to get like this fresh, musky, naturalistic smelling orange blossom, and also you get that leather nuance. And then as you start to get into that mid dry down, you're going to start to detect more of that saffron, but the leather in here is not your typical leather. It's very refreshing, which in my opinion is not really done frequently. So a fresh leather, yeah, it's a little bit different, but that's exactly what this is. It's a different take on like musk and fresh florals and leather, really. So it's not, I wouldn't really call this a leather dominant fragrance. I would call it more of like those florals and the musk, but the leather is definitely there. And what I think it helps this fragrance do is become more of a unisex fragrance rather than just straight up more feminine. I know a lot of people can say that the musk therapy does lean more feminine, but in my opinion, it is still pretty unisex. This one, however, leans right there in the middle. So at around hour 1, you're going to start to detect more of that saffron. The leather kind of fades away. The fresh citruses like that bergamot at the top starts to dwindle away, but the sweet orange is not going anywhere. Now the musk starts to play a role, and then about an hour and a half to hour 2, you're going to get this buttery iris, or orris really. And I start to get that similar vibe in the back of my mind. I start to remember Dior Homme, the original. Not saying that this is a dupe of it whatsoever, but I just got those vibes. I remember catching that sniff in the air of that signature light woody cedar and that iris. It's not emphasized whatsoever on that iris, but it's definitely there. But there's also that light woody cedar note or nuance in the base of this fragrance. So as it starts to dry down, you get more of that woods. You get it a little bit ambery. Some of those citruses fall off. The saffron is still there, but it gets much more balanced. It loses that sharpness, and it just turns into like this floral musk fragrance with a decent dose of some woods. Overall, the scent profile of this one, it's very fun. I really enjoy this one. In the cheapy realm, I'd place this at an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10, which is pretty freaking high, especially for something with this DNA. The only thing that I will say is that the total longevity for this fragrance through multiple days of testing, I wish I could have squeezed more than 6 hours out of this, but I could not. So around 4 to 6 hours is safe to say with this fragrance, but in all honesty, with this scent DNA, even with the original, the niche fragrance or the niche version that I compared it to, I don't get more than about 6 hours anyway. So if you want this category of fragrances like the fall light and and fun and, you know, playful and really springtime fragrance as well. And this will be a decent performer in that category of fragrances. As far as the projection goes, for the first hour, it's going to be about 2 to 3 feet. After that, it's pretty much a scent bubble for like the next 1.5 hours. So at around 2.5 hours, it's going to be more so of just like a close encounter type of scent. You're going to smell clean. You're going to smell like you're wearing fresh clothes. You just took it out of the laundry, and it's the fall or springtime. So if you're interested in any of the descriptors I mentioned, you're probably going to really enjoy this. And to be real with you guys, this is probably one of the DNA or scent profiles that I enjoy one of the most from Paris Corner, because I just have a thing for natural smelling fragrances. This is exactly that. If you enjoy walking in the meadows during the spring or fall time, then you should consider checking out Qissa by Paris Corner. If you enjoyed watching this video, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, and until the next video, peace.